What's Grounded fam? It's your boy Johnny Gio. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Grounded Phoenix podcast. Joining me today is Tanya. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, you did.
Okay, I know we had a conversation about that earlier, so I wanted to make sure we got that done straight. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good, but I gotta admit, I was a little frustrated earlier because I was like, how do I get her into the Riverside FM? So we're doing it on Zoom now. I'm sorry about that. It was like some technical difficulties, right?
It's not your fault. It's probably on my end. It's definitely got something to do with this end, I'm sure, But what's funny is you popped up real quick on the computer and then you disappeared. But the look you had was just like, really, dude? Like I could feel it through the photo. I was like, he's mad already. I'm like, but this happens to me and I'm blaming the full moon. Blaming the full moon. Like
it's a
30
full moon
minutes.
tonight.
Yeah. It was at 4:00 this morning when I was up too. So
yeah, no, I'm not upset at all. Actually, I'm just happy. I'm happy like I was able to get you on here. That's just my face sometimes. Honestly, I just look like I'm pissed off all the time. Like I just have this face, when people just like, what's wrong, bro? I'm just like, I'm good. What are you talking about? I guess it's just like my look or whatever, but no, not at all. I think we're both accepting that it was kind of our fault, but we're just gonna forget about that and let's just continue on because I'm really excited to talk to you about your story in particular. And I don't know you too well. We talked a little bit, but I'm really excited to get to know you a little bit more. But first, I want to know the story behind the Instagram name. Ginger didn't snap.
yes.
What's the story behind that?
All right, it's an interesting story. So basically, when I came onto Instagram about 4, almost 5 years ago, I had not done social media for a long time, nor did I really want to, but I was starting my own little skincare business. So it was lipstick, heels, and power peels. And I'd come on here and I'd put, like skin tips and whatever. But I was also going through some stuff personally through the court system, just trying to really work on clearing my name, getting my citizenship, just anyway, a long, way too long for this segment. But anyway, so as I was going through that stuff, I would then, put some recovery things on my page and it would have like a different spin and then I'd get real. And when I did get finally through that long hallway, because when one door closes, another one opens. But I always say there's that hallway that you're in and it's how you act and your recovery and so on and so forth. And as I was coming out of that and opening a brand new door, I wanted to change my name and make it about recovery and make it about just a message. And I was always known as Ginger Spice, go figure, right? But the whole Ginger didn't snap. I feel like after everything, and I shake a little bit because I get nervous at first. I feel like after everything I've gone through and been through, I could have snapped a couple times, and even when I do tell my story, sometimes people are like, holy cow, that's a lot. And it is, but it made me who I am today. So anyway, so I made the whole Ginger didn't snap. And then I just put everything on my page, the good days, the bad days, fighting, dancing, whatever, just making it about me because I spent so many years trying to prove things about me and my character and so on and so forth, because I was always hiding who I truly was. And now I don't hide anything, as you can tell, I just, I speak my truth and I hope to, help others do the same thing because that's what this deal is about. Right.
Yeah, right on. I'm so glad you didn't snap on me not being able to figure this mess out. Seriously.
I was snapping on the computer though. It was gonna go out the window.
Hey, low key, I know you were you did like some promotions on Instagram, and then you did like a profile picture of both of us. And one of my homies had DM'd me when I reposted it, and then he's like, "Yo, she looks like she could fuck you up." And I was like, shit, she probably could, man. I seen you fucking stab a doll like real quick, like doop, boop, doop.
Love the elbows, man. Elbows are great, right? Yeah. So
is that one of the ways you channel I don't know, any type of frustration?
yes. Yeah. I have a couple of the fight dummies in the garage, you know, and there's been times, yeah, I've just wanted to push through a workout and just been so angry. And instead of using that anger on like Trevor or my, you know, or the family or the business or work, you know, if I go in there and I just truly like just let it out. And if I'm picturing maybe somebody's face, you know, once I'm done and I've got good music on and I meditate and you get it, I just turn that day over, you know, but I do believe in women's self-defense too. So there's a couple other things that I do out there. And eventually my goal is to open like a sober residence and offer all that stuff for women that want to live there during their, you know, first couple of years of sobriety.
That is really dope. That's some
yeah, I
fucking
like
inspiring
that.
shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause
For
when I was
sure.
younger, I mean, I used to get bullied and I've fought back, but there's been a couple of times in my life where I didn't fight back, you know, and I think that's why I turned around now and I want to help others be able to fight no matter what, you know, not have that like fight or flight, like the flight, like, no, just go straight into the fight and not be ashamed of it either, you know?
Right. No, definitely. There's similar to you, I was bullied myself. And you know, I think that's why I kind of when I got to of age, I started tattooing myself to really put up
Mm,
this front and like this image
right.
to protect who I am because interiorly I was scared as shit. You know what I'm saying? So that was like my kind of defense mechanism to kind of peacock like fuck out of here, like don't fuck with me. I could be kind of crazy, but low key, I'm not. So just don't get near me. However, when I drank though, that came out of me.
Mm,
That really did come out of me. So since we're on that subject, I know you want to go ahead and start all of these things with sobriety and sober livings and things like that. But before this type of mindset, how were you like before you were sober? If you could just give us a breakdown of that, because I really don't know what your drug of choice was, or was it just
right.
drink?
So I started out, I started out, not necessarily drinking. I did other things, in the beginning. And then I decided to put all the hardcore drugs down. Just, I mean, it was such a short period of time, from like 18 to 21. It was really like crazy. But so I tried a few different things, liked it, but didn't like it. And then when I was able to drink, I would have more issues with the drinking, like the blackouts and just, you know, saying only one or two and then just going on. Like it was weird to me how, you know, after trying all these other drugs of choice, you know, and putting them down, the one thing that was legal, the one thing that everybody, you know, especially when you're British and Irish, they're like, just stop after two. And I'm like, I can't stop after one. You know, so but then it took me down fast and hard too. And that's when I got my DUI when I was 21, and rightly so. Of course, only like 10 minutes from, you know, the apartment, but it was terrible. I was on the wrong side of the road, you know, no lights on, just the whole horrible story, you know. I did try to pretend and bring on my accent and tell them I was driving on the wrong side of the road because I was British, but didn't work because I had an American license and I'd been here quite a while. So, and then I guess I went into like anger mode, like we talk about. But anyway, so um, when I woke up in jail, I was just like, oh my God, I could have killed somebody. And it changed from me
Right.
just like numbing and just doing what I was doing and hating on myself and that. But when you wake up and you're like, oh my God, I could have like taken out like a family or, you know, so the whole set of like shame, guilt, remorse brought on by me, even though I was drinking because it had originally been done to me, but now I was creating more problems.
Right.
I ended up getting into straight into like a rehab facility when I was 21. And then I went into a women's residence because I knew, you know, there was a lot of stuff I needed to, you know, work on and go through. So I stayed there for 6 months. And, you know, throughout, you know, the first few years of sobriety, it's one of those things where you're like, okay, well, if I don't drink, but maybe I could just do a little bit of this or so, you
Yeah.
know, in and out, trying something else. But again, knowing that it would eventually just lead to the drink. So I put actually some significant time together. But then I was introduced to prescription pills and had absolutely no idea, that a doctor could give you something that was stronger than all those other things I tried in my 20s. It was legal. But it was also during that time, because it was a car accident, but it was during that time where, like I told you, I was fighting for a lot of things. and I was broken. Like I was at a low point in sobriety. You know what I mean? Like not from drugs and drinking, but from the stuff I was fighting. So when I was introduced to like these pills, it was like my disease just took a whole new world. You know what I mean? But it was that same like I'll only, you know what I mean? Just that. So I was addicted to them for like almost 2 years. But then I overdosed twice. And the second time, my son was there, and he was younger, obviously, because it's almost 8 years ago now. But um, it scared him, and he wasn't used to like. I always thought I was hiding it. You know, I thought I was still a good mom, all these other things, but he would not come near me for like a day or so. Like he was very, very distant, and I knew from just going into rehab at 21, like we don't do everything perfectly, but sometimes there's like they say, plant the seeds, you know what I mean? Like some of the stuff that, so I've always had a foot in the door with recovery. I've always known that I've belonged, you know, but it was at that moment I thought, you know what, I can't do anything. Like except for caffeine, of course, you know, I'm like, I can't, looking at my history, like anything that some people can just do casually, I can't. I turn it into addiction, and then I almost die, and then I'm going to lose the one thing that is everything to me, which is my son, you know. So that's when I decided to come back into the program, but get the sponsor, own who I was, just do it all, like give everything I got. And that was like I said, almost, it'll be 8 years in October. And
Wow.
you know, Trevor and I are like this, you know. So yeah, so I'm not saying I did it for him, but it was almost like, grow up, Tanya. Like enough's enough. Like there's no, you know, yeah, you got a sad story. Yeah, but that's your boy. You know, like you brought this boy into this world. Are you really gonna like let him see? So anyway, and that's why now I just bust my ass to and I have bad days, right? We all have bad days, but
Right.
no, I do as much as I can for the program, because I believe in it and I think it's beautiful. I really do. I think many people could do with a 12-step program, you know, just remove the word to whatever it is that's bothering them.
Exactly. Now I seen on your Instagram stories how close you and your son are. Like I think you guys were
Mhm.
paintball shooting, or what was it, airsoft?
Airsoft, yes, and he hits me all the time because I was like, hit me a little bit, but hit me in the butt so it doesn't hurt that much. He went right above, so I screamed, and you know, everyone thought it was hysterical. But yeah, we have a good time. I'm sure he gets me back now and then for like, yeah, this is when I was little and you scared me. Boom, you know. But no, I made an amends to him a few times, and I think he sees what I do. He sees how much work I put in, and like I sponsor women, and I just, you know, and I talk to him. I'm so honest with him about everything, and you know, he's probably one of my biggest supporters. You know, so it is. It's
Mhm.
pretty cool. That's why I don't
That's
run off to
incredible.
Amsterdam, because I have a son.
That's amazing. And now you talked about your program, and you said you were in the 12 steps. Is it a specific fellowship, AA, NA, and
Yeah,
then
yeah. I mean, I think they're all good, you know. But I like AA for me because there's there is old timers there. My sponsor, she's got 25 years. She had other things in her story too, but it's just, it seems to be the one where, you know, there's old timers, there's really good step work, sponsors have sponsors, suggestions are given, you know, whereas maybe in some other fellowships I didn't seem to get that. But like I said, I also think sometimes, like with our women's meeting, you know, some women can come and it might not even be right away like drinking or whatever. They might just be struggling with something, but when they come and see all those women just help each other with our stories and lift each other, and again, it's a symptom, these are symptoms of our disease. So it's nice to just see us all work through that and come out, you know, stronger. And I only see that for me in AA, and like I said, I've been in and out since I was 21. So yeah.
damn, you were in recovery pretty young. Um,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
that's incredible. And to, like you said, you already kind of knew that, and you felt that early on in age you belong in recovery. So like
Mm-hmm.
when you did end up, I guess, going back to prescription medications,
Yeah.
when you injured yourself, what was the drug, if you don't mind me asking? Because I mean, I think people need to understand, and
Sure.
really realize that these prescription medications are really, really strong and addictive.
Yes, yes. And it was, I got into a car accident. It was pretty, I hydroplaned and I hit the car. Ambulance came, everything. So luckily I didn't damage or break anything. Um, I didn't break anything actually. But anyway, they gave me Percocet and muscle relaxers, you know, and it was just like, to me at first, like I said, it's one of those things where you're like, how is this legal? Like, how is
Yes.
this, and where was this years ago? You know what I mean? And but again, it just gets like once you fall into that hole though, because again, I was hurting and I wasn't, I got so addicted to them that there were days I got up and I'm like, oh, I'm in pain. And I don't think I was in pain. I just think my brain wanted that high again, you know, and then I would convince myself. And then it was just, you know, it was just, it was horrible, you know, and then you go to like, you know, different doctors and you have to have it. And I couldn't believe that something so powerful is, like I said, handed out every single day or in people's, you know, bathroom cabinets and stuff for kids. Cause that was hard. That was hardcore stuff to come off of too, but I had to.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's crazy how doctors are so willingly just saying, "Hey,
Mm.
yeah, you want a refill? I got you." What was the number one thing that you think helped you come to terms and say, "Holy crap," other than your son, because I know your son was a big part of it. But
Yeah.
what else was it that helped you just come to terms with like, dude, I need this is legal, but and I have a prescription for it, but I should not be using this.
I'll be honest with you, I was in so much pain that it took my son because I probably wouldn't have stopped, you know. I'm being honest with you.
Yeah,
Um, because I was hurting so bad. Not that I was trying, you know what I mean? When you're so in your when you just want to numb and you know something works. No, and I'm very stubborn and willful when I want to be, you know, and like I said, he no, it was that look. It was, I can't explain it, but I'll never forget it, you know. And I'm just like, Trevor, come here, Trevor, come here. And he just like looks at me and he starts stepping back. And
bro.
no, that was it. Let me tell you, like, you know, that was the second time I had actually almost overdosed a week prior with family. And I said I choked on a fry, but really I didn't. And he knows now. But anyway, no, it was a higher power thing, and it was an eye opener to me that it doesn't matter what anyone does to me. I brought him into this world. Therefore, I'm going to do everything I can to create such a beautiful, strong man. And doing what I was doing, I knew wasn't going to do that. So, yeah, I snapped right in like everything you see. Like I said, the name, all that stuff. I started just knowing I'm going to own it all and show him that, you know, in life, you just own who you are, you know, and don't hide it.
Right. I can't. I have two boys, so I know exactly what you're talking
Oh,
about. Like, yeah, I do. I can't imagine though that feeling of that look that you're talking about. So I envisioned it, and I pictured my kids giving me that look,
yeah.
and all I think about is like when they see me, how they're like, "Daddy," and they run to me and hug me, and for them to like
Oh,
not do that,
mm-hmm.
damn,
Mm-hmm.
like that could
Yeah.
be extremely painful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like honestly, like when because I got my thought of initially quitting and stop drinking was because of my kids and also to try to work something out with my kid's mother because that was obviously a problem. But throughout the years, you know, once I was sober, we just grew apart because we had nothing in common.
Mm.
But I want to begin this segment that starts with it's called Take It Away. Now, and Take It Away, what the purpose of this is because I want to touch on a subject that you think is important or a message you want to get out to the world or the audience that's watching in particular that really resonates with you and you think maybe right now in society people need to hear this message right now.
I think it goes back to what I was just talking about. You know, when I truly look at the things that made my life turn a certain way, my mind turn on me, things like that. It's when I don't speak up and truly own who and what and why, and just speak from like in here. You know, I think there's too much silence. I think people suffer in silence, and if people can just find one person or a group of people to talk to, they'll find out that, you know, what they're battling is a lot of us battle. And once they know they're not battling alone, it's a completely different journey. So I don't know how to sum that up into small words other than just speak up, be honest, and look for people like you, because, you know, we can help each other, but don't keep it all in here by yourself. You know, I know that's not a good place for me to keep it.
No, exactly. I know what that's like. In particular, I didn't do meetings. Um, I'm doing the 12-step program now, like years after my recovery, because you were talking about earlier how you could just take the name out of it and pretty much anybody can use those steps to improve their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually doing that myself. So I'm extremely open-minded about it. When we were at Alex's celebration, that was so new to me. Like when I said the Serenity Prayer and I opened up, I was like, damn, I hope I do not butcher this prayer right now. You know, but
Right.
it was just a beautiful thing to know like there's other people that felt the same way. And I really, um, you know, because early on when I had gone to AA meetings or NA meetings in the past, but they were court ordered, and I just I didn't resonate with anybody. I was like, oh, I'm not them. I'm not them. But now I'm
Yeah.
beginning to understand, to look at the similarities. So I want to touch on what you said about going to like all women's meetings and how important is that just for the women? Because I understand sometimes when you go to meetings that are like pro-sex, it's kind of, you
Mm-hmm.
know, it's a little different. Can you speak on that a little bit and on your
Sure.
experiences in particular?
Yeah, it's there's something about a women's meeting, and I'm sure men do the same thing, you know, but for us, it's like when you get to a women's meeting, sometimes women just want to, you know, we just want to be like, for fuck's sake, got my period and blah blah. It's just things that you would not say when there's a group of men in there, you know. It's like, or
Mhm.
hey, like but we can be so, you know what I mean, just bring some lightness into some of that stuff, you know, or at least that's what I try to do, you know, when you know, still all share our stories, but just, yeah, just pull a little bit from each one of them and just like, you know, just connect. So yeah, I think we do still speak the program, but I think we throw in just a couple of words you wouldn't if there was a man sitting in the room, you know. So but it's cool too if you're there like with your sponsees, and like sometimes I'll go to the lake with my girls and we'll talk about something, and then I'll go to a meeting with them, and I swear to God, like the topic is either what we just did, you know, or said, or
Mm.
but it's like we're connecting, we're feeling that higher power together. And that's what I like. That's what I love is what we get when we walk away from that meeting after being together. There's just something really powerful about it.
Incredible. I think I know what you're talking about. Um, and it's crazy because, you know, us guys, you know, as soon as like there's women involved, we get distracted, you know, automatically. And it's just natural. Like we're just like, look, okay, there's women over here, you know. So I definitely I understand where you ladies are coming from. And I think it's
Yeah,
important if you're there to do something and you're there for a purpose, you know, it should be mainly focused on that.
yeah,
You talked about
yeah.
higher you talked about a higher power. I just want to know what a higher power means to you. How do you describe it? How do you feel it? Because there's so many people I talk to that just don't know how to come to terms with God, a higher power early on, and people are just like, damn, like,
Yes.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and that's a big one too. Is I think some people still believe that AA is like a religion-based cult or something, and it's far from it. You know, far,
I
far,
thought
far,
that.
far from it. You know, we
Yeah.
can choose anything we want. We can believe in anything we want. You know, and I did struggle with that in the beginning because I came from a Catholic school back in England, and so I used to say, "Oh, I'm a recovering Catholic and a recovering, you know, addict alcoholic," you know, thinking I was funny. But I looked for, again, for things to be said, or people to, like, for God to speak through people. I always knew there was something, but I never knew what it was. And I always felt, because of the trouble I used to get into and the way my life was, I fell off of God's list a long time ago, you know, and I thought, it's the red hair, I'm going to hell, I don't know what it is, you know, all that kind of stuff. Right. But anyway, but always still wanting the best, knowing in my heart, like I've hurt myself, but I'm not out to hurt others. But when I went through, I think my concept of God changed a few times. But again, I would always hear things and know after I left our meeting, like something's with me. When I went through the other stuff I was telling you about during sobriety and a rough time, when I did end up getting, when I was in jail in the beginning, I had to find something that wasn't going to allow me to lose my mind because of the situation, what was going on, you know? And I remember dropping to my knees and just talking out loud, like just saying things like there's no, you know, whatever, the things that I had to say and the questions and the crying and the, once I was done with that, I had like a feeling like just come like from my head to my toe. And again, I'm like in four walls, you know, no window bars, like God knows what's going to happen. But I get this feeling of like, I'm going to be okay. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to be okay. This is going to like, because I didn't know why. You don't know right away until everything gets processed and stuff, you know? And then after that, like days and days into it, you know, when I could have truly like lost it, I didn't. And I would see things and I would feel things. And then later on, all this other stuff started coming out. And then I was like, oh, but I needed that. I guess I needed to be brought to my knees to know, A, I wasn't alone. Like I wasn't alone. And B, I wasn't in trouble, you know, like I'm going to be good. Like I could look at myself, even though you can't see very well in those mirrors, you know, they're all like whatever, but I could look. And since then, I try to bring that to my girls. I just think it's, as long as we turn stuff over and we talk and we, again, don't keep it in here, just get it out. There's so much power in that. There's so much power. You'll feel it. You'll see it. Things look differently. When you really want to tap into it, watch out, because you'll see things you're like, shit, it's a sign, damn it, you know, and you're going to be like, really, really, really good person, you know? So I'll joke about Amsterdam and I'll trip on my way to the car, you know what I mean? Like, fine, I'm just kidding. I won't, you know, but it's just, you know, I say it was my spiritual experience, you know, and sometimes I have to be brought to my knees in order to like truly turn it over and ask like, all right, you know, I'm not the director anymore. Right. So, and it's a daily reprieve, but I'll never forget that feeling for as long as I live. So.
Right. No, that's an incredible story. I know exactly what you're talking about when it comes to when you get to your knees. For some reason, when I pray, because I believe in God, if I don't get on my knees and pray, I feel like I'm slacking. I feel like right. me personally, I'm just like, nah, motherfucker, do it right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. Have you ever gone to like pet the dog goodbye? Then you're on your knees, like, oh shit. By the way, while I'm here, I'm turning it over. Please give me a good day.
Oh my God. That's hilarious. So, hey, but like you said though, like you were saying, we're not perfect. So whenever you experience lack of faith, or trying to control everything, even the things that you know we can't control, what is one thing that kind of brings you back to reality? What's like a tool that you use?
What you just said right there, like there's been like, if we're talking about the days where it's just like you can't stop obsessing, and it's not drinks and drugs, it's like that person or that situation or the past, or you know, and there's some days where I'm like, shut the fuck up, like to myself out loud, you know, because you get it, you know what I mean, just like shut up, like but if it's something that's really like, I have gone into like a bathroom or somewhere and I've dropped to my knees and I've just been like, take this, like take it, you know, and then I stopped thinking about it. So it's not very often now, because I truly live grateful daily as much as I possibly can. I've got so much, we all do. We've got so much to be grateful for. You know, I'm aware of what goes on all around the world. And I do know if I'm having a bad day like that, the other times it's just a matter of switching my thinking, getting grateful, helping someone else. And guess what? My day turns around. Like it's pretty easy if I do what I want, you know, do that. There's just some days where like, fuck it, don't want to, you know, and then it's a bad day, right? So
yeah, there's something about
sorry,
giving back.
I totally cursed on here. Wait, Zoom, we can curse.
I mean, do your thing, man. Handle that scandal. I got a potty mouth. Trust me, I'm not tripping about that. Yeah, no worries, man. No worries at all. So we're gonna dive into another segment, which is called Flip It on Them. So on this segment, I'm gonna allow you to be the host, and you could just ask me whatever you'd like. It could be about recovery or anything at all, and I'm gonna answer it truthfully. It could be embarrassing. It doesn't matter. I will answer it.
You sound excited. You're like, I will answer it.
Yeah, I'm like.
Okay, so what was your spiritual experience? And what step do you think, were you on the steps, or have you had one prior to the step work?
I had one prior to the step work. This particular one was, so in order for me to realize there was a higher power or a God, now I believe in God, because before I didn't. I was raised Catholic, but I didn't. But early on in my recovery, what got me into spirituality was crystals. So I started really getting into chakras, and then that was like kind of linked to meditating. So I started meditating, and what meditating to me really is just silencing the voice on the inside and just feeling total stillness. And I could never accomplish that. And I was like, how do these, what are they doing? So at first I was trying to do like the lotus pose, but I am not flexible at all. So that shit was painful. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get comfortable. I laid on my back and I did this mantra in my head. And it went like this. It goes, I am not the body, not even the mind. So I just repeated that. And I closed my eyes, and within like about 10 minutes into it, because I was consistent. 10 minutes into it, I felt this outer body experience. Like if I was separating myself from my body, like I was literally floating.
Wow.
I was fucking floating, and everything got quiet. I was just like, holy shit. Like, and I could see myself, and I could just like float around. Like it felt like I was on some kind of trip, but I was so
Yeah.
and after that moment, I was just like, I just tapped into something. I don't know what this is. Like, obviously, this is spirituality, but I was like, no, there's more to this, right? So I don't have that story where people say I survived all of this, and you know, this is God's way of remaining anonymous. And so, like, I do believe that, but that wasn't. I'm looking back now, I'm just like, holy shit, God had my back. God had my back like so many fucking times. But
Yeah.
that particular experience made me feel like, damn, bro, like this shit is real, dog. So like after that, I was like, you know what? Let me speak to this dude. Let me see what's up. And now when I speak to him, I get shivers. I get goosebumps. I get like this fucking feeling of like
Mm-hmm.
just like I'm connecting with him. And it's
Yep.
just, I talk about it all the time, like feeling that. To me, it's goosebumps. I feel like if I don't feel that, I'm not being genuine. I'm not really putting out there what needs to be out there. But when
Right.
I do, which is pretty much all the time now, it's incredible. And I really do feel, I feel like in order to believe, it starts with a feeling and not like physically seeing something. It's a feeling to me. So
Nice.
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. 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 Okay. What was your first tattoo?
My first tattoo. Okay, so I gotta put myself on blast here because I told Jim from Valor Fitness that my first tattoo was my mom's name on my chest,
Yeah.
which is actually a lie. It was a lie. That was my second tattoo because I was
Aha,
embarrassed.
Jim, take that.
My first tattoo was Venom from Spider-Man.
Really?
Venom from Spider-Man, and it was right here. This is a cover-up. So I got it covered up.
Why did you cover it up?
Oh, because I just got clowned on. I got clowned on so hard. It was,
Aw.
I mean, I was pretty young when I got the tattoo, but I got clowned on so hard. And you know, people in high school when you're 16,
Yeah.
17, like they go hard, man. And I was just like, I just wanted to be cool. That's why I got the tattoo. And like it backfired on me. And so I covered it up pretty much like a couple months after. Um,
You didn't even let it heal. Just kidding.
it takes a cool minute to heal, but
Yeah, no,
that's
I'm kidding.
but yeah, that was it. And after that, I realized how, I guess, addicted I am to like wanting to be cool, and like how much I take into
Mhm.
consideration what other people think. But at the
Right.
same time, I mean, Venom from Spider-Man had nothing to do with me. Like so like
Right.
I'm kind of thankful that they did talk shit and I got that out early.
Right.
But yeah, do you have any more questions? I feel like you might have some in your pocket. If not, we could continue.
Um, so did you say how long you have? How much time you have?
I have 5 years and 8 months alcohol free. So my story is a little different. I have smoked cannabis in the past. So for me, alcohol is the thing that, like, my alcohol bone is attached to my cocaine bone, and my cocaine bone is attached to my fucking crazy bone.
Right.
And that's the shit that really fucked with me. So, but now I don't smoke weed for a lot of reasons. So there's like levels to it. I never really smoked weed and like literally like freaking almost killed myself. Look, you see that scar right there?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
So like weed never did that to me, but I know that it's an addictive substance for sure.
Right.
It was never like, I'm gonna do some crazy shit on weed, but it did stun my growth internally and physically
Yeah.
as a person. So um I don't look down at people that smoke weed. If it helps you with your recovery, like, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, I also understand people like NA that say any mind altering substance. Like, I completely understand that.
Yeah.
So that's my journey, alcohol, which is like I almost got 6 years, and I'm extremely proud of that. I'm so happy about it.
That's so
Um,
cool.
yeah, thank you. I never shared that actually. So
Yay.
yeah, there's a first time for everything. All right, so moving forward, I know
Yes.
you're a bodybuilder, right?
Sure. Yes.
So
I say
is
that
that
only because I've been eating terribly for like weeks, but yes.
talk a little bit about that, and is there something that you might be working on right now? I know you talked about like sober living or something like that in order like future plans that you want to get out there just so people kind of look out for.
Yeah, so like you said, the sober house is something I really want to do, so I'm like actually working with realtors and looking at places, because I just want to provide some safety, for women that either live alone or just don't want to live around alcohol in the beginning, because it truly is hard, that. So that is a huge thing on my plate right this minute. I am also in the middle of school to become an addiction counselor as well, but it's just COVID and everything slowed that down. And it's like, I feel like sometimes I want to do more now. And then as far as the competing, yeah, I did 3 shows. I think I'm done with that for a little while, just because my hormones and my thyroid didn't really respond too well. But I did do 2 competitions back to back last year, and I should have
Nice.
had my stuff. I should have had my thyroid and everything looked at, and I didn't. So I'm just now catching up with that. So just trying to eat gluten free, try to stay awake because sometimes I'm really tired. But it'll just take a little bit longer to get balanced out. And then I'll just continue to do like photo shoots, but I really don't foresee, and I've upped I like doing more cardio things now too. So just changing things around, but, staying in shape and still trying to shape my body, a certain way. But I wanted to be bigger. I was trying so hard, but it's just sometimes when we've got to go with what we got, right? And I guess I'm built for speed.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I was always like, I want to be big and big. And no,
Yeah.
I try, we're good, I'll just, but I mean, if I want to have fish and chips or something here and there, at least then I can too, so that strict dieting is definitely, it's only for a short period of time for me.
Okay, cool. All right, so fuck. Hold on, I blanked out real quick. I was gonna ask you something. You ever have those brain farts where you're just like, because I was
Yeah.
listening to you and I was thinking about the next question, and I was just like, wait a minute, but now I remembered. I want to do a photo shoot with you. That'll be so dope.
That would be so awesome. We should totally do
Dude,
that.
I saw the pictures that you posted of me and you side by side. I was like, dude, we can totally kill it. I was
I
like,
know.
man,
I was having fun with those too. I was like, this one's good. I'm like, oh, this one looks good too. Like, they all look good.
yeah, I was like, if there's any brands out there that want to get us together, like, you guys will be winning, like hella winning.
Right?
So you guys better holler at us real quick.
That's right. That's right.
Before I let you go, I'm gonna leave you with the signature question, and that is: there's 3 things in life that are guaranteed, and I believe they are marked in our gravestone. That is our birthday, the day we passed, and that dash right in the middle that represents the life we led. What is it that you want to be remembered by when you are gone?
Helping people own their story. So I think
Ooh,
that's what the woman's house that I want to open, I'm going to base it on that too. You know what I mean? Like, they're not just going to come and live. Like, I'm going to show them how to eat and train and just own who they are, own their story, and then start working on making it their, changing it their way, not on, like what you said, based on others. We care way too much about what people think, and that has to stop. I know it had to stop for me. So yeah, it would be Ginger helped people own their stories while she was here. She was funny and amazing. Is that too long? She will be missed. P.S.
Gin-
Open up. She's still in her bikini competition bikini because she stayed in shape.
I got one. Is Ginger help people not snap?
Yes, there you go. Or maybe snap and get away with it. No, just kidding. Not snap, not snap.
Oh man,
I'm getting tired now.
Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate your time. I know it was a little tough early on, but I'm so glad we did this. Like, I mean, there was complications, but that shit didn't stop us. We got to get the message across. So thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. And I hope we can really link up and get those pictures in. I'm not going to let that go.
Let's do it.
Sweet.
Thank you for having me though too. I appreciate it. So
thank you. Anytime. We might even do this again if you're down.
all right, I'm always down.
I'll never be the same.